Minute since we had to pop on for an emergency negative episode. Chase Claypool put on the pup list to start training camp. Me and Stevo, we're going to break it all down, what that means, who could get a chance and an opportunity to step up with them out. We'll get into all that and more right after this.
Now tuned in to Chicago Bears Central, your number one place for all Chicago Bears news and content.
All right, Stevo. So we got word just about 30 minutes ago, a little bit under an hour ago, 30, 40 minutes ago, that Chase Claypool was put on the PUP list to start training camp. What this means is he'll still count towards the 90-man roster as of right now. He can be removed from the PUP list and start practicing at any time during training camp. So, if it is something that's not as lingering, he can be removed from that list. Seems to be that same soft tissue injury, which is weird because just a couple of weeks ago, we got a report that Claypool was going to be fully ready to go by the start of training camp. So this must mean that in that physical, something showed up, or maybe he dealt with a little bit more uncomfort once he started working out. What do you think this means for Chase Claypool? We'll talk about other wide receivers and stuff that could step up, but what do you think this means for Claypool?
I'll be lying to say I wasn't disappointed. Out of everybody in the wide receiver room, he's the number one player I want 100% all effort, all gun ho into training camp. He did not need this injury. Especially with all the innuendos and the rumors behind him. Oh, he's not motivated, and we don't know if he really loves football. We don't know if he's really dedicated or if he's mature, such and such and such. It's just not a good time. That's the bad part about this. Out of all the times we complained about him, even though people are overreacting to some degree, because like you say, he did come in halfway through, and it's hard to learn a system that fast. So I needed him to be all guns ho coming into this training camp because as you know, that's when you put the pass on. Everybody got their pass on. You're going through real game situations, everything going through the system, everything. So it just sucks. This is the worst time to begin it, but to find a silver lining into this, I'm glad it happened on the first day or the second day. Um, and I hope that a report that came out his first damn hit, he didn't hurt himself because that just sucks. But it just I feel like just to sums it up, it just the wrong time. And out of everybody in this room, I didn't want it to be him.
Yeah, and I think, like you said, the narrative around him, even though I think a lot of that narrative is overblown as far as like, that type of stuff. But at the end of the day, like, you need to show up on the field. And the fact that he offered something that we really don't have with the rest of our wide receiver room, he being 6'4", 200 and almost 40 pounds, like, we don't have another player that's going to be able to step in and give that big target for Justin Fields. But I mean, I still do think we have talent, and that's going to be the next thing we talk about. Who's going to step up? Who do you think is going to take advantage of this opportunity? But when it comes down to Chase Claypool, like, we gave up the 32nd overall pick in this past draft for him. And it's unfortunate that we really haven't been able to get much out of it. That first season, I don't really put it just on Claypool. That was on the circumstances and things like that. But you really hope that he was going to come in, be ready to go at the starting training camp, and thus be able to be integrated into that system early on. Now you have to have that question, like, and again, he can be removed at any time. So put that in perspective, that maybe a week, two from now, he's ready to go. Maybe after the first preseason game, you don't know, but it's just unfortunate for a player that really needed to be on the field to start proving a lot of his doubters wrong.
Yeah, that's really what it is. Like, I will say from a team aspect, I'm not really worried about him being out because, like I said, I feel like it's a lot of talent behind him. Um, Basically, Equinarius rep his reps is probably gonna go back to somewhat similar to it was last year because of this. Tyler Scott's gonna get a chance, even Joe Reed. So I'm not really worried from a standpoint of if he will make the team suffer in that aspect. I think I'm more worried about just him individually. This is a killer for him individually. It's a lot of things he could have learned.
Contract year.
Yeah, contract year. Man, I forgot about that. It's also, yeah, like you said, it's a contract year. And this is the time out of all the times is where you could build up that chemistry with your quarterback. And
Yeah.
it's gonna be, it's not impossible and it's not out the realm of possibility, but like if even if he just somewhat lasts out to the, I don't know, game one, game two, whatever, it's possible that they could get it going during the season, but it's just less likely. So You just want him to get as much reps as possible, which, like you said, take it with a grain of salt. He could be taken off at any time, but it's just something you just didn't want to hear, especially from him.
Facts, facts. So looking at the rest of the wide receiver room, right? This clearly changes some things drastically. Like it was expected, Darnell Mooney to be in the slot, DJ Moore, Chase Claypool on the outside. When you look at Tyler Scott, Dante Pettis, Equinemius St. Brown, right? Who do you think is going to be the one to really step up? Velius Jones Jr., Joe Reed, like who do you think has now the opportunity to come in and move into that starting lineup, if anyone? Or do you think the Bears may look to go veteran acquisition or something like that?
I doubt it. I doubt it just because we have so many people we brought back from last year that knows the system.
Yeah.
So it could easily go to, I would say, three guys. It could go from Tyler Scott to Dante Pettis. I do want to touch on Dante Pettis. I think in no stretch of the mean, the position he didn't live up to being a number two, but he's still a solid runner, a wide receiver, and one of Justin's favorite targets because he's the type
Yeah.
of style that Justin likes, and he built up a camaraderie with them. So I wouldn't be surprised if, like I said, the people like him, Equinemius St. Brown, because Equinemius is one of the out of necessity. I won't say it was his favorite, but out of necessity, that was another target that was heavily favored by Justin. So I could see mainly those two and maybe Tyler Scott. Um, I mean, like I said, out of the Joe Reeds and the other guy, I forget his name. I believe his name is Free. What's his name? Tyreek Pitts. I want to say,
Oh, Pitts.
yeah. So like players like them, like this the time you can show. Like this is almost like a summer league of sorts in the NFL.
Yeah.
When this is time to show it. You can create your job, and then you got the second stage, is what I like to call when it's coming to the preseason. Also show off your game. So there's a lot of talent in his room, and a lot of time they could show what they got, and this whole no reconceive what we thought what the roster was gonna be on first day, complete totally different.
Yeah, and I think like this does Dante Pettis and Velus Jones, two players that really would have had to come into this and I think make their names on special teams. They now get an opportunity to maybe get back out there, right?
Yeah.
To see if they can get in there. And so, and shout out to Oliver who said you got to have that next man up mentality,
Yep.
and that's what it has to be. But we still got talent in this wide receiver room. Like the Equinemius St. Brown, like you said, not the best, right? But did become one of Justin Fields' favorite targets last season. Now with the addition of DJ Moore, who's really the gravity of him is gonna hopefully open up opportunities for other players. He can step in there. Tyler Scott, who we've heard nothing but rave reviews about him, other than a couple of drops as well. He's so extremely similar to Darnell Mooney as far as body makeup, though. I worry a little bit about that one.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think that there's guys that are going to be ready to step in for that opportunity. Rookies, second year players, players that have been around a little bit longer, and so you got to come. This is what it was for. You have to build in that because you expect players to miss a couple of games during the NFL season. So now they have an opportunity to come in, make a name for themselves, build that chemistry with Justin Fields up, and we'll see what we
And
get.
we don't ever bring it in the tight ends because they both can be a threat when it comes to the versatility of this team. Like, I don't know if this will change things or the mindset of us being maybe a bunch heavy type of group that they could exploit to the highest degree with Robert Tonyan and Komet. But yeah, like that's why when I say as a team, this doesn't really hurt us because, like I said, we just have a lot of people we can fall back on that's durable, dependable, and we've seen it before, and they shall only get better. Equinemius St. Brown shall only get better. I don't see him getting any worse
Yeah, I mean,
in
I
his
wish we had
system.
his brother, but
Hey,
it is what it is. Yeah.
hey,
But I mean, yeah, I guess when you look at Equinemius St. Brown too, he's the only other wide receiver that we have over 6'1". So I mean, if you're looking at another big target, maybe he can come in there and do some things for you there. I'm going to ask you this question, and I'm just going to ask you for the nature of the conversation. I don't think it's necessarily going to happen, but there was a report, I think through Bleacher Report 2-3 weeks ago, that Chase Claypool may have been on the bubble to not make the final roster. Do you think that, depending on how serious this could be, do you think it could get to the place where they look to cut Claypool?
I won't like, especially with this new regime. I won't say it's out the realm of possibility because if you're not playing good, they're not going to keep you, no matter what they thought of you. We've seen them bring in people. We see them people that was always upheld with a name when they came in. They was like, "Yeah, you're not playing how we want, so you're going to go."
Yeah.
Roquan Swift is one of them. I mean, like, that's a exaggerated type of example, but you get the gist of it. But yeah, like I'm not. I feel like that's more of a they're going with the narrative that they're thinking he's not doing as much because I just honestly don't believe he's that bad. There is no way that, like
Yeah.
they just making him seem like he's just a goofball, like he's the Kyler Murray of wide receivers or something like for real. Like they treat him like he's still a kid, like his maturity issues. I'm like, bro, if you expect the maturity out of wide receiver, this ain't a goddamn quarterback.
Yeah,
So
I
like
feel you there.
you getting on him by YouTube and TikToks. I mean, I get you his focus. Like he definitely has the talent to be one of. Let's be realistic. He could be one of the greats if he put his mind to it.
Yeah.
He has the intangibles. He has the size. But if the mentality is not clicking and you not have that new bear mentality that we all got, you're gone.
Yeah. I mean, we'll see. Let's hope that it's not anything lingering in long term. Let's hope that maybe this is something just precautionary, and who knows, he could be taken off the list next week. You never know, right? So let's hope that at the end of the day for Chase Claypool, like I want to see him prove the doubters wrong. I've talked about it. I'm very much a player that a person that loves a team that has a chip on his shoulder. And Chase Claypool has a lot of doubters around him that he needs to prove wrong, that he wants to prove wrong. I should say that. And I hope he's given that opportunity. I hope this is an injury. This isn't an injury that really sidelines him for a long amount of time. So
Yeah, and Bears don't start turning to the Bulls with these little secret. I don't want to tell you exactly what's going on. I need to know everything that's going around this mug. I'm a nervous wreck. I don't have the time nor the patience to deal with y'all shit. What's wrong with it? Is it a tweaked ankle? Is it a sprain two, grade two? Like, just tell me. Like, don't sit here and put it out there and be like, well, we just put him on the pub list. I forgot. I ain't heard the word pub list in years.
we had somebody who started off on the pup list last year. I think it was probably Velus Jones. Or no, it was Byron
It's
Pringle
Byron.
who started off
Yeah,
on the
donuts.
Byron Pringle started off on the pup list last season. So and this was a bunch of announcements. So it also looks like wide receiver Marvin Jones was put on that list. Wide receiver KJ Hamler was put on there with the Broncos. So
Damn.
there was a couple of players that was announced to start off the season
I
on
was
the
getting
list, and hopefully it's
smacked
just
first
precautionary.
practice.
Yeah, yeah.
I mean, it get like that. Don't like that's one thing I don't want to miss a show. Like he's softening. Hey, Jets was fighting the first day in practice. It get real.
That's
It
facts.
gets
Yeah,
real. That's
that's
one of
facts.
the highest competition. That's the only reason why I want to see Hard Knocks. Is just to see those in confrontations. That's the only reason. But that's another topic. But
Topic for another
yeah,
day. But let's wish speedy recovery to Chase Claypool. Wanted to bring out this emergency episode out. And let's hope, man. Let's hope that it's nothing too serious, and hopefully we get some details with it over the coming week with training camp opening up.
yeah. Because I don't need. I'm too excited. I just did a prediction of how many wins I thought they was. I kind of went a little higher than I expected. I said 10 wins, even though I don't believe it. But hey,
Okay.
I feel like we got the talent to do a lot of great things. It's just about doing it and staying healthy. And
That's
we
a fact.
ain't starting off too good. Let's get it together.
Yeah, yeah. Let's hope so. Ryan Poles, man. Hey, don't let Arturas Karnisova get in your mind, bro. Be like go ahead and disclose what's going
Matter of
on. You ain't
fact,
got to be secretive about everything.
AK, you two, dude from Toronto, your name ain't coming to my head, but yeah, y'all can't come to the Bears for a good amount. I don't need no meetings. It was nice for y'all for opening up the gym for them. That was very nice. They was building team chemistry, something y'all don't got. But yeah, just stay away for a little bit. It just pay attention to them from afar. That's what I need y'all to do. Pay attention to them from afar. I don't need you to rub up with no shit. I don't need it. We just got to own this to a good place. They had that Jerry Reinsdorf attitude for years, and they finally got done with it. I don't need it.
That's a fact. That's a fact. But thank you guys for tuning in, man. Y'all make sure y'all go and follow Stevo at Stevo Speaks on everything. Y'all can also check him out on NBA Central, where he's basically been holding down that channel by himself, him and Big Kev for a minute there. So y'all go support Stevo over there. But that's it. Make sure you guys are following the channel at Shy Bear Central. You can send us any feedback, questions, comments, concerns, chicagobearcentral@gmail.com. And lastly, we'll leave a text message and our voicemail number to do so, 773-242-9336. We're the number one spot for everything Chicago Bears related. Chi-Town up, bear down. Love you
Bear
guys.
down.